So now you have spoken about the genesis of this whole issue, as well as the various reasons as to why what motivated you to pursue this, and you are trying to move towards its logical conclusion. But in the course of moving towards its logical conclusion, the kind of havoc that it has created, do you really think now, was it worth all this?
You see, the way I think is, this is such a fundamental issue regarding the survival of Srila Prabhupada's movement with purity as it was surviving pre-1977.
Now, it is a very big statement when you are making survival with purity, in the sense that we are judging. If you see the other ISKCON also, they are doing Mangalarati, they are doing deity worship nicely, many nice devotees are there. So, how are we to judge that they are not pure, we are pure, because we are obeying or we are adhering to Srila Prabhupada's instructions?
Yeah.
Will Krishna be accepting what our view as saying that holier than thou attitude kind of thing that we assume to have?
No, it is not the question of we assuming to be more pure than them. It is not we against them. The real issue is Prabhupada's instruction against their own self-concocted direction to continue the disciplic succession, to serve the idea of disciplic succession to newcomers in ISKCON. Therefore, I am saying that, you see, we want Prabhupada's movement to continue, not something else that is concocted to continue. So, say, as you said, Mangalarati, chanting, prasadam, deity worship, both of us are doing. It's all, we are doing. And here there is if you take list wise, you will see one item you differ. I mean, it's quite misleading that way, but you have to give weight to each of these items. In our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, the position of Guru in a disciple's heart, we are not talking about social position of Guru in a disciple's heart, that is a very, very, very fundamental thing, fundamental item of purity. Now, it is not that, if somebody is in our system and if he does not have faith in Prabhupada, he will be better than them.
So, when I am saying a position of Guru, ideally what does a Guru do? He guides us towards Krishna. He guides us towards helping us spiritually progress in our life. So, if you see, even in the other ISKCON, they are progressing in spiritual life, they are moving towards Krishna, which means the principle of Guruship is acting even in them.
Definitely it is acting in them, but Srila Prabhupada himself makes this statement that even somebody who is not very qualified can teach somebody and make someone progress up to his level. But Srila Prabhupada, if someone has Srila Prabhupada as a spiritual master, then his advancement can continue. I would say that when I was in the other camp, I am not saying that I did not make advancement at all.
Correct.
I did make advancement, but I clearly see that after 1998, the rate or the degree of the rate at which I have realizations, I have understanding, I have consolidation in my spiritual life, it is much more than what it was before. Because I started depending on Srila Prabhupada's books, depending on his teachings as Vedavakya, because he is my spiritual master. Earlier there was a kind of a gap created between you and Srila Prabhupada's books. A gap is created invariably because in our parampara, in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, there is this principle of Maryada Vratikrama, where you cannot jump over your spiritual master and go to the next spiritual master who is above him. Like you said, why not go and take initiation from Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Thakur? This is Maryada Vyatikrama. I cannot go, I cannot jump across Prabhupada and go and take initiation and Diksha from him. I cannot do it. Now then how can you go, how can you jump over your present Guru? And I said present Guru itself is not there, position itself is not there. Srila Prabhupada says he will be the current link. You see, in a disciplic succession, unless the current link authorizes the next link, he does not become a Purvacharya.
Okay, let me re-paraphrase my question. What are the risks involved for a devotee? Now, we all accept that we will progress either this way or that way. Even there they will progress, because at least they are chanting the holy name.
Right.
They will definitely progress.
Right.
From your perspective, what is the risk in that system for a devotee who is practicing that style of spiritual life, and what is risks and advantages?
I mean, it's a very, very important question. I did think a lot about it, and I have an analogy to give. This world considers child abuse as a very serious crime. Why is it so? I mean, a teacher in a school, teaches him 365 days into so many years. Of all that, one fine day he abuses that child, and the world takes it so seriously. In the same way, I may learn from some spiritual master. We are all spiritual children. We are in the same position as those children. Go to material example and come to spiritual example. We put our shelter, we put our faith, we put our loyalty, everything on the spiritual master, hold them in high position. Same thing a child does in the school. My teacher, he thinks of the adult with great respect, and when an adult abuses a child, he gets traumatized. So much so that his entire life is affected, is established by modern psychology. Spiritual life is no different. Same phenomena is happening in spiritual life. I put so much faith in the Guru, as good as God, and when he falls down, there is a trauma, there is destruction of spiritual faith in the disciples. How many innocent, for no mistake of theirs, they had to lose faith in Krishna consciousness because of this trauma. This is a point. You cannot simply say some small difference. Just like if in your institution, it may have so many laurels about giving excellent education. Suppose you are an educational institution, but if few incidents of child abuse regularly happens, not one. Once in a while if it happens, you can say it is accident. But look at this, what is happening out. More than 50% of the gurus appointed by GBC have fallen down. I mean, in an institution, in an educational institution, if you find out that 50% of the people appointed as teachers are abusing children, will you keep quiet? Oh, anyway, teaching is going on, education is going on. No, it will not. This is the real issue. There is betrayal of faith. Faith is extremely important for spiritual life. And that is why Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta says that one should have implicit faith in the spiritual master as much as he has in God. What is that level of faith? Probably somebody who has not understood this principle of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, for him it doesn't make difference. That's why I said, if he understands what is the basic, the blocks of Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta, for him it is a very, 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 very serious thing. It's not something that you can live up with and adjust and live with that. It's not possible.
Okay, very nice. At least some clarity on the aspect you brought in the whole discussion with respect to the risks aspect of the whole thing. Now, coming back to my question of if you see currently the case, we have gone to the courts, we have gone to the media, and fireworks have come out from all kinds of areas, kind of thing. So, what is the current state of affairs of this whole issue? Where does it stand?
See, we as a group always recognized that it is.
Are we, before you continue, are we so, as spiritualists as people who are supposed to be non-confrontational, who are supposed to embody peace, acceptance, should we continue, or is there no saner way to resolve and move forward?
See, actually, what is the law of the state? If there is injustice, you go to the court. I would say that when certain things fail, the law of the land gives a course of action to protect your rights. So, we have no hesitation for going to the court for seeking justice for Srila Prabhupada's movement to continue the way it ought to have continued. We have no hesitation to do some efforts, make some efforts, even if it means to involve the people who are really our stakeholders in one sense. ISKCON is surviving not because of the missionaries' support alone. It is running because of the lot of funds that is being brought in from all the people from this country. Every temple built in this country is coming from the people of this country. So, don't they have a say in these things? They do have a say. They want to have faith. They want to see that the movement survives in a way in which Prabhupada wanted, with its purity. So, when that is the case, a little struggle, for instance, Prabhupada said this movement will last for 10,000 years. A little bad period of fighting, probably to the outsiders. It looked very bad for maybe 15 years, 20 years.
It's already
18 years. 18 years.
18 years.
So, a few more years it will go on, but the severity of the fight from the beginning till now, you can see the graph, it is coming down, because we are after all devotees, we cannot go on fighting. So, it has practically reduced to the court, and in the court also, because it gives a wrong impression to innocent people. Everybody does not think in the outside world, because for them they are thinking about their profession, this thing. For them, they spend 5 minutes, what is ISKCON? Oh, why they are fighting, that is all. And he is not even having time or interest to come and see who is right, who is wrong, all those things. That way it creates a negative impact in them. But ultimately, even if that negative impact is there, when after few years the movement is growing with proper Prabhupada as the spiritual master, I think they will appreciate.
So, what is the current status of the whole issue? I have heard that some compromise was worked out, and we were trying to renegotiate the whole thing along with as devotees sitting across tables trying to chart out a new course.
ISKCON Bangalore group of devotees, they sat together, they very clearly have communicated to the other GBC, to the other camp, that our fight is not for property. Our fight is for establishing Prabhupada as the only Diksha Guru in our temples. When the fight began, we had only one temple, Bangalore. So many devotees spread all over the country, and we have now about 23 centers. And we have told the GBC, we have told the ISKCON Bombay, who is our opposite party in the litigation, that you take not only this property which is under dispute, you take all the properties, merge with yours, ISKCON Bombay. You merge with it, take all the property, we do not want property. But before the Supreme Court, let us file a compromise petition stating that in these temples, the Ritvik System of Initiation as per July 9, 1977 alone will be practiced. So, we want an insurance against that in our temples. That is all we want. We want to be strict followers of Prabhupada, that is all. Property you take. But very surprisingly, initially though they were only raising this issue, this is all a property issue, and Madhu Pandit Dasa and this group has simply siphoned off the ISKCON property worth crores and hundreds of crores. This was their cry everywhere. But if you see the last 5 years, this cry has died down, because we have not once, we had several sitting with the GBC representatives, executive committee, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, And in each meeting, we are the only people who have made any offer. They have not. They are sitting on their high horses. They have not said, okay, you do this, we will give you. They are simply saying that you accept us as Guru. They gave one written reply to us in which they said that some of your senior devotees should also take up initiation and become Diksha Gurus. So this is the way they come back. They don't understand us. So what can be done? So this is the situation today. There is actually no property issue, because it is not what kind of spiritualist we are if we have to fight for the property. Now you may say, okay, give up the property and be spiritualists, be sadhus, and then we practice Krishna consciousness. Wherever they throw you out also you practice Krishna consciousness. That we are not ready, because we don't think that we have joined them. We think that we have joined Prabhupada's movement, and therefore Prabhupada's shelter is required for us also in his institution, and it is a preaching mission. If it was not a preaching, if Prabhupada's vision was not a preaching mission, we would not have gone to the court at all. We would have just sat back and chanted Hare Krishna. That much Krishna consciousness we have developed that Krishna will provide for us. For our personal survival, we are not fighting here. For our personal survival, most of the people in this group are all educated people. They are not going to lose their Krishna consciousness if they throw us out in the street. But we will lose the platform for preaching Krishna consciousness, which is our duty to Srila Prabhupada. We cannot give up so easily. This is a point. That is why we are fighting.
Wonderful, Madhu Pandit Prabhu. Thank you for clarifying many of the issues that were there, and hope our viewers get a better idea and they understand this whole issue much better. Thank you very much. We look forward to having more on our show. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.